Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It's Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. It is Wednesday morning. It's February 22nd in the year 2023. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Joe Callahan. At the Coffee Ann table with me, bright and ready to go, right on time, Amanda LaRose from Navigant Credit Union. Hello, Amanda.
Good morning. At least I'm on time.
The other two are late, I know.
Stragglers.
They need to bring a note from home.
Where's Timmy the truck?
John Award is here. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning.
And we believe Melissa Smith's vehicle is in the parking lot. So we're going to wait for her to come in.
I hear she is in the building.
A door. So it's a special day today as we wait for Melissa to come in. Today is Pebbles Flintstone's birthday.
Oh, Pebbles.
She's 60 years old today.
Good morning.
Born February 22nd, 1963. So
Wonderful.
congratulations to Pebbles.
Congratulations.
Melissa, it's Pebbles Flintstone's birthday.
Oh, yay.
Isn't that cute?
That's great.
Melissa Smith from the St. Antoine Communities has made it in right on time, as always.
Oh, I'm so
Did you
sorry.
just say the St. Antoine?
Antoine?
Is that what I said? Yeah. St. Antoine.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm not the French names just kill me. Saint I'm okay with. But Melissa, it's time for your first message.
It's rare that I come in on two wheels, but when I do, there's always a story. So
I'm sure there's a
brace
good story.
yourself. But before I get to that,
yes, let's hear about the St. Antoine communities.
So for those of you that don't know a lot about St. Antoine, we are a large long-term care campus located in North Smithfield, and we're on the line of Blackstone, Mass. and Woonsocket. And on our property, we offer an expansive continuum of services that range from assisted living to short and long-term skill care. We have a state-of-the-art rehab center, a private hospice suite, as well as a large secured memory care unit. And the two buildings that are on our property are the Villa at St. Antoine, which is our 76-apartment assisted living facility, and the Residence at St. Antoine, which is our 180-bed short and long-term skilled care facility. So if you're presently at a crossroads with your loved one and trying to determine when is the right time to seek more help and support, I encourage you to reach out to me. I'd be happy to walk you through your options. You can reach me at 401-767-3500 or email me at msmith@santantoine.net. Thank you.
All right, good story?
No.
No, well, it's not a good story.
Just momming. I don't know what to say.
Okay, fine.
Driver's ed started this week. Oh, Lord.
There you go.
How's she doing?
I mean, great. I think what's
Okay.
comical is the drive to drop off her and two friends that are all like top of their class, these genius kids that are just like bookworms. They're so stressed. They are so stressed. And it's just actually comical listening to them. And it's like a speed week of, February vacation. You can bang it out in 1 week instead of doing multiple
okay.
Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
But because it's so intense and it's like 20 chapters, they're like, oh my gosh,
Is this
what
too
if
much?
we don't get through all of it? What if we get the test on
Tell
Friday?
them it's a preview to a college experience.
I mean, it's actually
Here's your
comical.
book. We're going to
Yeah.
test you on half of it in 3 weeks. Have fun.
But I realize that as I'm driving them and dropping them off the last couple of mornings, I'm doing everything that I should. That I shouldn't be doing.
Oh, they're watching you now
I know.
a lot more intently.
I know.
Mom, that's
so
wrong.
I'm trying
Mom,
really
that's
hard
wrong.
to that's why I'm a little late. Just slow myself, on the drive there,
two
drop
hands
them
up.
off, and then peel out.
2 hands on the wheel. You didn't put your
They're
blinker
not
on
even told
early
10
enough?
and 2 anymore.
They're not? What are they
no,
told?
they're told
It's
9 and
4 and 8 or 9 and 3. Or
9 and 3, I think.
Really?
If you,
What's
they,
the
they make,
difference?
if you
More
look at steering
control.
wheel, they
Is it?
create handles where your hands should be, sort of.
Yes,
Oh.
it's like a resting spot on the.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Because if you're up here,
Yeah.
the airbag will push your arm into your face. If
Yes.
it's
And
an
punch you in the
accident.
face.
Yeah, you punch yourself in the face. You
Yeah.
could hurt yourself. I know
Yeah.
my father used to drive like this all the time.
I still do.
Well, if you have an airbag, and you get into an accident, well, I would think if you're getting into an accident, you're going to switch your position.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
If it comes on you
Fast,
fast,
yeah.
your fist is going to be somewhere over here,
Right.
behind your head.
Wow.
as it
I
goes
find
through your
hands
skull.
resting here, was kind of where my daughter was like, that's too casual, Mom. You
No,
can't react in an
yeah.
emergency. I'm like,
I do. 10,
Okay.
I tend to do 10 and 2, just out of
yeah,
habit.
See what's coming, Amanda?
sorry.
I am not prepared for this, guys, at all. So
I didn't
thank
even
you.
realize I have never had her sit in the driver's seat until the first night she came home with a list of 50 items that she needed to sit in the car with me and identify on the dashboard.
50, wow.
Of which, There was probably 4 or 5 that I'm like, I honestly
don't
don't know
know.
where that is. But the visual of her sitting in the driver's seat was enough to like get the heart going. And
So you haven't taken her out to like a parking lot to let
that,
her
her
go
birthday is in a
around?
couple weeks, her 16th. So my husband plans to this weekend as
Now, how's his patience level?
it's going to be
Pretty
tested.
good.
They, on an average daily basis, kind of push each other's buttons. So my dad doesn't live far, so I've already talked to him about.
Ask her where the clutch is and where the.
Oh, there's no
and-
clutch in the
There's
car.
no clutch
and
anymore.
where the floor-mounted high beam switch is.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
So, of course, the big story of the day came out yesterday when David Cicilline says he is leaving Congress. He's going to take over as president and CEO of the Rhode Island Foundation. Did it surprise you, John?
It did a little bit. I'm not that surprised. I knew Neil Steinberg was leaving. I didn't think that the congressman was interested in taking on that role. But I think when he sort of got bumped out of some of the leadership that he was shooting for in Congress, he may have seen that he didn't want to be in his 80s, finally achieving those roles, and maybe thought it was in his own personal best interest to come home and work locally and get himself a $450,000 raise.
Oh, you're right. He's
Because
jumping
well,
from 175 to 650.
to 650.
Oh, there's a
Sweet.
good reason right there.
And at the same moment, he's saving the Rhode Island Foundation about $500,000 because Neil Steinberg was making well over $1 million.
Was he? All right.
Yes. Well, I looked at the 2019 Form 990 had him at $937,000 with
Wow.
about $163,000 of benefits for pension and health care.
So they got David at a bargain.
So I'm
huh?
figuring somewhere between 19 and 22, he must have moved up well over $1 million a year.
Okay. I saw.
Think of the savings for the foundation.
Yeah, I did see a brief interview with David Cicilline. It was on Channel 10, and basically he said he's leaving because, like you said, he can do better for Rhode Islanders back here in Rhode Island. And he's looking at the Congress, and it's a Republican Congress. He thinks nothing's going to get done.
Right.
So why stay there?
And even if it turned out well in 24, and they gained the majority back, it's still a question of has he been muscled out of some of the positions? Because he did
He
try
was-
to gain
he was
some
going
spots,
up pretty good.
and then all of a sudden it stopped and he
Yeah.
got shifted aside, and so I think he saw the handwriting on the wall, and good for him. I mean, it's certainly a busy job. He has
Yeah.
to. He can use the contacts he's made and the relationships he's built over the years very well, and well for the foundation. The only thing I think that's a risk to the foundation is there's a certain amount of partisanship to him. Neil Steinberg came out of banking. He did not have a partisan bone in his body, where David Cicilline is partisan, and so it may make some of the donors squeamish unless he can shed that image quickly and focus on what the mission of the foundation is.
Okay. Amanda, Melissa, surprised at the announcement yesterday?
Surprised a little, but I think as long as the Rhode Island Foundation stays on task with what they've always done, I think it'll be okay.
All right. Melissa?
I think he's setting up for a potential run for governor in a few years. That's what I think. You
I
don't
don't
think
think so.
so?
No,
I knew it was going to get him to react.
No, only because
gonna poke
he's
that.
61 years old.
Yeah.
There
spring chicken.
There are lots of people lined up for governor. Actually, the bigger question, I saw the names of some of the people that may be interested in running for his seat.
We're going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah, and no, I don't see him looking to run for governor. I think he's looking to work probably 15 years, well into his retirement years, doing something that he's probably going to love because it's a lot of handshakes and meetings and
It is.
and looking for donations, just like pretty much most of your job is when you're a congressman anyway. And I think it's a lot of schmoozing, and David does it well. He gets around. He's
Yes, he
he's
does.
one of, no matter what you think of his political beliefs, he is a true representative in the sense that he comes home, he visits, he sees people, he shows up at events, he makes his presence known, and he makes his service available to people. So
He's very supportive of senior services, which I love. as well.
I don't see him doing anything else until he's finished working for his life. I think he's found something that he wants to do.
He was here one time, and this is when the star was rising. And I said, David, you can run for not for president, but for vice president. I think hanging out to a ticket to somebody here, and he just smiled and said, and then he kind of said, "Well, no," but I'm like, I don't know, I kind of see it. But then, like you said, everything kind of stopped, and the rising star
he
just
sort of
went
hit a wall
nowhere.
with,
And
with
like,
the last Congress, where he was trying to move into positions that he couldn't get, and I don't see this as a bad move for him. I see it as a good move for him. I think it's probably going to settle his life down for the rest of his career. And frankly, for vice president, I think he'd get blocked out by Gina Raimondo.
well, now he would. All right, people that are kicking around who might run for the. First of all, John, do you want to run for
Sure,
this?
why not? I got nothing to lose.
Don't be sarcastic.
No.
No, okay.
Remember
We'll put him down as
if
a
you've
no.
ever been here when I said it, when I'm asked about running for General Assembly seat or a state Senate seat,
Yeah.
I say it's bad enough I bang my head against a plaster wall here in Harris Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I want to go to Providence and bang my head against granite walls down there?
Maybe you want to go to Washington.
Why would I want to go to Washington and bang my head against marble walls? No.
All right.
You need to have actually a history of a couple of things besides diplomacy and the intelligence necessary to do the job. You have to have contacts and relationships over time that you build up to staff up a place, to do fundraising, which is required that you do
money,
constantly. And that's why when you read off the list, I have a couple of people that I think will rise to the top quickly in the primary period, if in fact they choose to run. But it is going to be a quick run, and then they'll be left. Then they'll have the benefit of 17 months to serve, where they.
No, I thought it was less because
become-
there'll be an election next year.
Right, that's November of next year.
Yeah.
Well, the election will probably, June, July,
13
August.
months.
The election will probably be in August. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it'll be about 13
Okay.
months of service. Either way, there'll be an incumbent, much like McKee was for governor. He got the incumbency by virtue of stepping into the job midterm.
Melissa, Amanda, any thoughts about running? Both
Nope.
shaking their heads no. Nope, staying out of politics altogether.
Day by day right now.
You know, I always told Gary Furtado when he was stepping down he should run for governor, and that was an emphatic no as well.
You know what? As much as I know Gary, I would understand that he said no.
Okay.
He's busier now than when he was working. So
I want my brother Tom to run.
He's retired, so yeah, okay. But this is the Channel 12's put together a list of people that are exploring it and people that have said they haven't ruled it out, and then there's the people that say nope, we're not going to do it at all. But people kicking it around. Helena Folks, she just ran for governor.
Yes.
She might. Do you think, John? Do you think,
I think-
she'll make a run at it?
I think Helena Folks, as much as I have been a Republican and I disaffiliated from the party I would want to not be in either party because they're so extremist as parties. So I disaffiliated myself. But if there was not a strong Republican candidate, I would support Helena Folks.
Okay. Sabina Matos, our current lieutenant governor, is thinking about doing this. Dawn Ewer, state senator, judiciary
senator.
committee chair. What's that?
There's another state senator that's
Okay.
in there, too.
Maria Rivera, Central Falls mayor. Sandra Cano is a state senator. She's on the education. She's the
And there's
education
a
committee
third
chair.
state senator, too. There's
Okay.
another one coming up.
How well do you know Sandra? I know
very
she's
well.
with Navigan.
Yep, I
So
worked with her hand in hand for a while.
has anyone asked her yet?
I don't believe anybody's asked her.
Okay. Megan Coleman,
Yeah, she's a state
another
senator
state
from
senator.
Pawtucket.
Cynthia Mendez, former state senator and a candidate for lieutenant governor, is thinking about it. Nerva LaFortune, former Providence city councilor and a candidate for mayor in Providence. Patrick Lynch, you must know Patrick Lynch,
I do.
former Rhode Island attorney general. Dina Autiello, North Providence town councilor. John Gonzalez, Providence city councilor. Nellie Gorbea.
That's
You-
the
you
other
see that
person. I
happening?
think the two people I think that are going to rise to the top here. I don't think Patrick Lynch is going to get traction, but I think Nellie Gorbea and Helena Folks are going to get traction quickly if they both decide to throw in.
Peter Nerona, though, attorney general.
I don't think he's going to do it.
No? Thinks he stays where he is?
I think so.
All right. Joseph Shikarchi, the Speaker of the House.
That's interesting, but I don't know. That's
All right.
That's going from the top of the heap to the bottom of the heap. In a Republican Congress.
Gabe Amo, A-M-O. Just says President Biden official. I never heard of him. Jessica De La Cruz, Rhode Island Senate Minority Leader. Catherine Kazarian, another state rep. Alan Fung, former mayor of Cranston.
That surprises me. I don't expect him to do it.
His wife,
His wife, maybe.
Barbara Ann Fenton Fung.
Although I don't know that.
She's a
I
state
don't know
rep.
how well she'd do in the heavily Democrat east half of the state.
All right. Don Grabian, mayor of Pawtucket.
I don't think he's going to do it.
All right. Bob DeSilva, mayor of East Providence.
He might think of doing it, but I don't think he'll do well in the race.
And
Not well known enough across the whole district.
okay. And Zay Kamsavaravang, mayor of Newport.
I didn't know the name, and I'm
Of course,
like,
the mayor,
Well-
the mayor of Newport is actually like the council president. It's the person
Yeah.
that's in charge of the council by virtue of getting the most votes.
What about Lisa Baldelli Hunt up here, mayor of City of Woonsocket? Her name's not on the list. I'm just bringing that out.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't.
All right.
That would. I mean, she's. I don't see it.
John Brand.
No.
No? Okay, you just don't see it?
No.
Okay.
Don't see it. You have to have. Let's face it. It's a very strong Democrat district.
Yeah.
It's designed that way. So it's going to be somebody who has the acceptance of the party, who has money, who has made contacts, and they believe can do well for the party down in Washington. And that's why I think Gorbea would rise to the top, because she has statewide exposure. She's known to the community.
And Helena.
And Helena Folks, they're both well known in the state, especially Helena Folks. She made a charge at the end.
Yeah.
So she made herself very well known. And I think the rest, they're locally known. They would have to spend a lot of time and money getting themselves more well known
Yeah.
from Newport to Woonsocket, and there isn't a lot of time.
Right.
And they don't have a lot of time for fundraising. So you need somebody who's got money to make a strong pitch quickly.
All right. These people have said not interested, but I guess they could always change their mind. Jorge Alorza, Angel Tavares, Joe Paolino,
Yeah,
and Brett Smiley.
I think Tavares is comfortable with what he's doing in the law firm.
Yeah.
Smiley, I'm not surprised. He's got a 4-year term for Providence mayor. He would, if he didn't win, he would compromise the integrity of the office and his ability to lead Providence if he, 6 months into his first term, says, "Oh, I'm going to run for something else."
Right.
Yeah, okay, we don't have to listen to you. You're a dope. So that wouldn't work well.
All right. Maybe we talk Tim into doing it, Amanda. Tim Draper.
No.
No? All right.
I do have a meeting today with him, so maybe I'll
Throw it out there.
I'll throw it out there and
Say we
let
all
it
agreed.
stew for a little while. All right. I mean, he's got 4 votes, right?
Well, no, I'm in Mass. I can't vote for
we
him.
get the reaction over here.
And frankly, I don't think Sabina Matos has enough visibility statewide.
Even as being a lieutenant governor.
She won a lot of her strength came out of the core of Providence, Pawtucket, Central Falls. A lot of it had to do with a big push for the Democrat Party, and the candidate running against her was thought to be a strong candidate, but there was a strong Democrat Party push at the end, and but she doesn't. She talks in language that's basically sound bites, not deep, thoughtful, policy-driven
All right.
statements.
You don't see Dan McKee on here. So I guess he wants to stay governor.
I don't. Dan's, how old is Dan?
I don't know.
You don't start in Congress at his age. You
Okay.
finish as governor at
He
his
just became a
age.
grandfather.
I was gonna
So.
say,
Yeah,
he just
you
became
finish
a
as governor
grandfather,
at his
if anything.
age.
All right,
He's
very
fine
good.
where he is. I don't think he has a strong interest in going down to Washington and changing his entire lifestyle and
Right.
doing fundraising of
Yeah.
all things.
Okay. We're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program. So let's get a second message from the St. Antoine community. So over to you, Melissa.
So I think this morning's message is really stressing the importance of planning ahead. I've shared on the air that we are very busy at St. Antoine community at both the assisted living and long-term care facility, and based on, I just did some reporting yesterday, and even just the assisted living alone had over 75 inquiries since January 1st, which is a lot considering we're full. There's a lot of families I've had to say, I'm so sorry, I know that right now you need our help, and I can't help you right now, and not be able to give them a timeline as to when that opportunity will be available to them. Similarly, at the long-term care facility, I know that Billy McIntosh, the admissions director, has been absolutely inundated. It's winter. Even though it doesn't feel like winter entirely, it's still flu and pneumonia season and popular time for falls to occur as well. And so they've just been hit with a lot of families needing emergency help or rehab care. So really stressing the importance of reaching out ahead of an emergency situation and taking a tour, getting familiar with the services we offer on our property. I'm that person. I can give you a tour. Billy can give you a tour. Actually, anyone can give you a tour, to be honest. You can walk in at any point and someone will at least show you around. Reach out to me at 401-767-3500 if you have a very unique situation and you need some support or guidance trying to figure out what your options are and how to go about that planning process. Thank you.
All right there, Melissa. Thanks. And comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. More Coffee Hands coming up. Stay tuned.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
When you're looking for the best steak sandwich in Woonsocket, look no further than Kay's Restaurant on Cass Avenue. Their juicy and tender steak is cooked to perfection and piled high on a fresh roll with all the fixings. But the steak sandwich is just the beginning. The Kay's Restaurant menu is packed with other delicious options like comforting soups and salads and specials every single day. And the friendly staff at Kay's Restaurant will ensure you have a dining experience unlike any other. So come on down to Kay's Restaurant on Cass Avenue in Woonsocket today and try their mouth-watering steak sandwich. You won't be disappointed. Kay's Restaurant, where every bite is a celebration. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Blackstone Valley's ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here along with Amanda LaRose, Melissa Smith, and John Ward. We did get a note that was called in on a completely different topic. Baseball is coming up, Major League Baseball. So the Red Sox have their annual first spring training game of the season is Friday against Northeastern University. They always take on a college. That's their first game of the year. So that's coming up. But this person wrote in, they wanted to give us their projected opening day lineup, and it doesn't look good. And let me know if you've heard of any of these names. Yoshida in left, Verdugo in center, Duval's in right field, Devers at third, Hernandez, who was in center field last year, will be the starting shortstop. Arroyo at second base, Tristan Casas at first, catchers up in the air, McGuire or Wong. Designated hitter is a guy coming in from Los Angeles named Turner. Starting rotation, Kluber, Pivetta, Whitlock, Sale, if he's even healthy. And number 5 is question marks. The bullpen could be strong, maybe. So this person is predicting that the season will be over by the All-Star break when they're in last place again.
I didn't hear any names that you would call Hall of Fame eligible or Hall of Fame future inductees.
Well, Devers might be.
Devers might, yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably the only name
and Sale, maybe. But and so by the All-Star break,
Sale is 1 out of every how many
5.
games?
5, yeah. He thinks Bloom will be fired
If he stays
We'll
healthy.
see. If he doesn't get hurt. Chris Frail, as he's called. So it's hurry up and wait on this, and we'll see. Tristan Casas is a very good prospect.
Does that mean the ticket prices will be lowered? So
No,
they'll
they already went
attract
up.
people? Oh, rats. I thought maybe I'd get to a few games cheap.
No. Nope.
Just wait for the injuries when they have to rehab and go to Worcester to watch.
That's
the
right.
Reds.
Watch them there. They'll be a lot cheaper.
A lot more fun.
And a lot more
space.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So ladies, John is quoted in today's Call newspaper.
I am.
Right off the bat. Yep.
Boy.
Let's see if this is a correct quote. We have an we have an appointment. We have a filing with the clerk that is conclusive evidence. I'm not even sure we need an opinion from the solicitor because the state law says that it is conclusive evidence, whether the solicitor believes it is or not, because the statute says that. And I don't know why we can't get an opinion that simply regurgitates the statute to say that was a valid appointment. And we're talking about the Woonsocket Housing Authority and their appointment of a commissioner. And so it happened at the city council meeting. You asked the solicitor for an opinion,
Well, I had asked him since December 3 times, and he's never rendered one.
but his opinion saying it should go to Superior Court, is that his opinion?
It seems like that's where it's headed.
Okay, he doesn't want to make a decision.
it's
He
like-
wants
there
them
you
to
go.
make a decision.
He wants them to make a decision.
Okay.
Because
That's his opinion then.
The housing authority apparently doesn't want to seat the appointed commissioner because there's a theory that even though the letter was only prepared, nobody was sworn in, and the letter wasn't filed with the clerk's office as is legally binding, they say that doesn't mean that he's not an appointment. And the solicitor gave me an example of if he had been appointed in April of 21 and nobody sent the letter, and the mayor had not sent the letter to the clerk's office, but he served in the capacity for all these months, would he not still really be a commissioner? And I said, well, given that circumstance, yes. However, in this case, Mr. Egan never actually met with the commissioners, never went to a meeting. The position was always listed as vacant on their minutes. So the commissioners certainly weren't made aware of Mr. Egan's appointment, and then the solicitor pointed out that the letter that the mayor had on the secretary's desk was dated October 3rd, which coincidentally was the day before the 3 days of hearings where she was removed. What a coincidence. And nothing ever happened. It was stuck on a pile of paper because when the mayor left, the secretary left, and it never got moved anywhere else because Dan Gendron never went in there to disturb what was on that desk. So you can claim anything was there. You can claim that an original copy of the Declaration of Independence was on the secretary's desk, for all we know. But there's no way to prove that it was or it wasn't. And so I was just pointing out that the law speaks of conclusive evidence, and I read legal definitions of conclusive evidence, and I said there's no opinion really necessary here. But they seem to think that they're going to twist themselves into knots and spend all kinds of money on lawyer time, wasting time, trying to find a way to get Mr. Egan the job as a volunteer appointee instead of Mr. Dubois as a volunteer appointee, as though somehow this is worthy of thousands and thousands of dollars of legal fees, just because the mayor's ego was damaged.
So for the women on the panel, this gets really complicated of who should be there and who should not be there. And if you're not paying attention, you're like, what is going on? And but who would make the decision if the city solicitor wants it to go to Superior Court?
The
Who
judge
makes the
would. It would have- it would
No,
be
who
a
makes
judge.
the decision to send it to
Well,
Superior
that's the
Court?
thing.
Is it you or is it the
no,
council? Not you
think-
personally.
I think
the council or the mayor.
I think the lawyer for the housing authority is the one that would suggest that they take the appointment question to the court because they have been notified of Mr. Dubois' appointment. They have never been formally notified of Mr. Egan's appointment. They're going to ask the court to make a decision based on the question placed with evidence provided by the city, which means the lawyers for the housing authority are going to be billing time for all of their research and all of this appeal to the court. And then the solicitor is going to have to spend his time, which they tell me is so valuable, and he has so little time to do things because of all the litigation we have. But he's going to waste his time on this crap. And so we're going to waste his time at over $200 an hour, and the lawyer's time for the housing authority at between $200 and $300 an hour to answer a question over who's going to be allowed to be the volunteer commissioner for the Board of Commissioners and the Housing Authority, even though I don't know that either of the gentlemen really have it in their heart that much that they want to be the subject of a fight. But the current mayor didn't get her way, and so she will stomp her feet and scream until she gets what she wants and waste dollars of lawyers' money.
Ladies, you following all this?
Having this fight carried out
Does it
in
make
court.
sense?
It makes no sense to me.
No. Okay.
Here's the troubling part of that article regarding something other than my quote. If if you go to the second page of it, it speaks to the fact that they couldn't find anybody because they basically wiped out all of their executive staff. The finance person's gone, the director's gone, the human resource person's gone, and the only person left is a procurement person who is retiring in 2 weeks. And so they were asking for somebody in the staff management, I would presume, to voluntarily step up and be the person with authority to sign documents on behalf of the authority because commissioners can't do it, and sign paychecks and things like that. And nobody would
Nobody did it.
volunteer. And the purchasing officer made it clear that nobody stepped up because nobody trusts them. And
Okay.
she eventually was persuaded to do it because she's only got 2 weeks of work left before she's retired. But she said it right in the article, that people feel like they can't trust the administration because every time somebody does something, they're called on the carpet or they're disciplined or something is done to them, and they have no interest in putting themselves in a position, which tells me that we have, what I said last week, is probably a board of commissioners who are overstepping their authority and are being intrusive in the operation of the system.
But if it goes to Superior Court, how long will it take before a decision is made?
If it's 10 minutes, it's far too long. I have no idea.
It's gonna take months.
Could take months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break here in the Coffee and Program. It's time for the weather forecast, which is being brought to you by Compassion International.
Increasingly cloudy today with a 50% chance of rain this afternoon, highs in the lower 40s. Tonight, rain, snow, chance of freezing rain and sleet in the evening, patchy fog. Little or no snow or sleet accumulation here in Woonsocket, but up to 2 inches to the west and north of us. Ice accumulation around a trace here in Woonsocket, but up to 1/4 of an inch to the north and west of us. Lows will be in the lower 30s. South winds will gust up to 10 miles per hour. Thursday's weather, cloudy, rain, and a chance of freezing rain in the morning, then just plain rain and freezing rain in the afternoon, highs in the lower 30s, northeast winds up to 20 miles per hour in the morning, and a chance of precipitation all day Thursday of 80%. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, chance of rain and freezing rain continues with lows in the upper 20s, winds from the east up to 20 miles per hour. Friday's weather, mostly sunny and windy, with a high in the upper 30s and winds gusting to 40 miles per hour. Saturday, sunshine, much colder, with a high for the day in the mid-20s. Sunday, mostly cloudy, chance of rain and snow, not as cold, with a high in the upper 30s. Monday, partial sunshine with a high in the lower 40s. And Tuesday, rain is likely with a chance of snow, brisk winds, upper 40s, and the chance of precipitation Tuesday, 70%.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies with 37 degrees. Drought, war, and rising food prices have devastated families in poverty. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
Hi, this is Steve Peluso, owner of Peluso Precision Automotive in Mendon. Since 2017, Peluso Precision Automotive has been your destination for auto care, transmissions, and general classic car repair. I've had a passion for classic cars since I was born, and I started hanging around a gas station when I was 7 years old. Plus, I have more than 40 years of experience repairing the classics. So if you have a 53 Bel Air or a 67 Mustang or a 71 Dodge and it needs servicing, bring it to Peluso Precision Automotive, 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon. Peluso Precision Automotive is your vintage car specialist, so give us a call at 508-478-8900. And remember the number, it's 508-478-8900.
Since its founding in 1996, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism anywhere makes these cities and towns better places to live in. We believe that truth has value and should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story.
Here's what's coming up next. Greatest Hits USA.
Hey, Hey, this is Chuck Matthews on Greatest Hits USA, and coming up this weekend, we're going to answer the following questions. Who received a check with the wrong last name on it? What singer bought a Cub Scout uniform? And who had the #1 record this week in 1967? Find out. Turn it up this weekend right here.
Greatest Hits USA.
It's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan with John Ward, Melissa Smith, and Amanda LaRose from Navigant Credit Union. And Amanda, it is time for your first message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
Perfect. So this year we just rolled out our Navigant Credit Union scholarships. They are open to any graduating high school senior entering an accredited junior college or university or technical school. Students must be a member or immediate family member of someone who belongs to Navigant in good standing. Our application is on our website at www.navigantcu.org. If you have any questions, please call us at 401-233-4700 or visit the website www.navigantcu.org.
Very good there, Amanda. We have a note that was called in. This goes back to the baseball with the whole starting lineup for the Red Sox this year. So the prediction on the year goes, Red Sox prediction, Hail Mary, full of grace. That's kind of clever. All right. Yesterday in Cumberland, we had another fatality. Another crash happened in Cumberland yesterday on Mendon Road. Two-car crash. One person died, 5 people injured, including 2 kids. This happened on Mendon Road.
What time of day?
Middle of the afternoon.
It was
Really?
it was Monday that
Was it
happened.
Monday?
It was Monday that I thought it was Monday that it happened, not yesterday.
But it was in the afternoon?
Hang on, please. I got it somewhere. Sorry, Monday evening.
Yeah.
At 3191 Mendon Road. Not quite sure. Mendon Road's a long road. One is down by Lonsdale.
26 is Cumberland High School.
It is? Okay, so north of there.
Yeah, more towards like, my guess would be like the McDonald's gas station area, Burger King, somewhere around there.
All right. Where 295 is. Yeah. According to reports from the Cumberland Police, there were 2 people in one car and 3 in the other, and the persons with 2 people, the driver of the car had a severe medical episode
That'll do it.
and veered into oncoming traffic, which killed the passenger and not the driver, and just just injured the other 3 people in the other car as well as himself. And what I'm hearing is that the driver was a driver for Fogarty Medical Center and was driving a special needs
Special
person.
needs patient.
And that's the person who died was a 67-year-old woman whose name has not been released just yet, and significant injuries, and died several hours later at the hospital. And everyone else just had minor injuries. So just according to the police chief of Cumberland, Matthew Benson, just truly an unfortunate chain of events that ended with the passing of this woman. So that's too bad. So and they're looking for a speedy recovery for everybody involved. All right, John. This must be good news for
What do I do now?
the town. Must be good news for the town of Lincoln. Poker is coming back to Twin River Casino. For some reason, it was closed down because of COVID, and since they've reopened, they haven't had any.
COVID because they can't get enough employees.
It's enough
to cover
dealers,
it.
yeah,
Enough
and
dealers.
they're only going to play it for 4 hours a day, from 10 to 2.
Poker's not a big moneymaker for casinos because they only take a piece out of each pot.
Yeah.
People put money in. They're basically competing against each other.
Right,
They're
yeah.
not competing against the house.
The house, yeah.
So with blackjack and other table
Roulette
games,
and things like
roulette
that.
and things like that, they're playing against the house, and the house has a higher share of the revenue
Mm-hmm.
in those games than poker. So poker would be the last thing they put in. It was the last thing they actually put in, and now it's the last thing they bring back.
So they're not jumping up and down at Lincoln Town Hall. Woohoo, poker's back.
No, that's not something to get excited about.
Okay.
The interesting thing will be if the General Assembly actually allows for statewide internet gambling online through your phone or your computer, like they do with Sportsbet right now, because that will have an effect on slot machines or VLTs, video lottery terminals, and those are actually lottery revenue, not casino revenue.
Yeah.
And the casino gets a share of the lottery revenue, and the town gets a share. But if the people are doing it from home or on their phone, it begs the question of how much revenue will be lost for in-house gambling at the casino, if any.
Well, there'll be some at the beginning.
I would think there'll be some, but then
It may level off.
It may even be a sum that drops to a lower level of plateaus, much like when Plain Ridge opened
Yes, in Plainville.
and had their slots. It affected Twin Rivers revenues
A little.
where, well, I'm saying probably about 5%, if that. But it did have a permanent effect on our revenue stream.
All right, and ladies, I'm sure you heard, or maybe you didn't, about the casinos in Massachusetts that were taking the illegal sports betting. Did you hear about
I
this?
did not. No.
No? Wow. Oh, okay. 3 casinos in Massachusetts, Springfield, Everett, Plainville,
Oh.
started doing sports betting legally on January 31st. Well, the rule is, and the rules in Rhode Island too, you cannot take bets on your local college teams. So no betting on BU or Boston College. Well, didn't all 3 take bets?
They did.
I feel like that
On-
is something
on
I would
men's
or
basketball.
should have known about. With
Yeah.
my husband being in college athletics, I feel like that's something he would have come home and shared.
Wow. Okay. Well, ask them about it.
Interesting. I'm
And so
going
they didn't take a lot of bets, but enough where, and they all, which is funny, they all turned themselves in to the Massachusetts Gaming
I thought
Commission.
the software prevented it.
You would think it would, but they accepted these bets,
Huh.
and I guess they're looking at it now. I don't know if it's human error or what, or maybe it's a computer error that allowed it. And so we asked our attorney that came here, Bob Lauder. Well, so where does this? What if you bet on these games, and you won? Do you get paid? And he says, "Oh, absolutely, or else the casinos will get sued." I said, "What if you lost?" Ooh, you're probably going to get your money back because they accepted an illegal bet. So it's a win-win for the player and a lose-lose for the
It's a
casinos.
lose-lose for the casinos, and that's why
Now-
it's in their interest to catch it and stop it.
Yes, and they did stop it after a while. It probably went on for like an hour, and they said, "Ooh, we're taking in wrong bets." Did anyone check? Do you know if anyone went down to Tiverton or Lincoln to say how you
really
making
don't.
sure they were still taking
I really don't.
legal bets?
Don't know.
No. Okay.
I don't-
You haven't heard anything, so I,
don't-
figured.
No, I haven't heard anything. And I don't get, the only thing I know about the casinos is how much money comes into the town of Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
It is not in the best interest of the town of Lincoln to have the finance director involving himself physically at Twin River. So I don't. If I do, it would be to go in and enjoy some dinner at a restaurant or take in a show.
I
Yeah.
never
It
think
would
to
not
do
be to
that.
go into the casino.
Go there for dinner.
Go there for dinner?
I never think to go there for dinner. Do
They
you
get some
go there
great
for dinner?
restaurants.
Only rarely.
What
no.
would be a recommendation if I were to say this weekend I want to try to go have dinner at?
What's the name of the football players?
Fred and Steve's?
Fred and Steve's.
Is that
it's a
good?
steakhouse.
It's a- yeah.
Little expensive.
I want to save up a little money to do it.
Yeah.
And is it busy? Like that's the other question
Oh, yeah,
I have.
no,
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
busy.
They're
They-
busy. Oh, they're busy. The whole
Yeah.
place is
All
busy.
right.
But
Good
the
to know.
restaurant right on the side of Fred and Steve's has some really great food and a great
yeah.
bar.
I don't know what the names of the other restaurants are. They changed out over time.
Yeah.
And at one point, they had a comedy club there that I don't know is still there, and they've had different restaurants. But Fred and Steve's has been a staple since the beginning, basically.
I've literally been there
and
for
so you-
gymnastic
and of course you
tournaments
can
and
always-
for events for the diocese, and that's it.
It's
So,
what's,
just curious.
What's the other place? Can't think of what's the burger place that?
Five
Five
Guys.
Guys? Oh no, Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets, okay.
Johnny Rockets down near
Yeah,
the.
if you want to do some real fine dining, you can go to Johnny Rockets.
But listen, if you don't want Johnny Rockets or you want Johnny Rockets and your husband wants Subway, don't worry, it's right
It's
in the
both
same
there.
area.
There you go.
This
It's
is
a
all good
multiverse.
information. This is good
I mean,
information.
you could accomplish the same thing at Providence Place Mall, but
Yeah.
who wants to go
Why
there?
do you want to go there?
Oh my.
Except for the $2 parking.
Unless you know where to park for free.
Well, there's that too.
Just speaking about the Massachusetts Cultural Council is distributing over $3.5 million to more than 40 nonprofit and municipal performing arts centers. The intent is to help the small venues compete with the state's casinos, which lure in the big guys, the big entertainments. I don't know if it's going to work.
I don't know. They have two different sets of talent
That come, yeah.
that come to different places. It's like trying to attract people from Twin River to come to the stadium.
I guess,
It doesn't-
yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, look at the group that was just at Twin River, the Guess Who.
Yeah,
Were just there and at a sold out show.
right.
Now, I can see them performing at the Stadium Theater.
I don't know. How much do they charge?
I don't
It's all
know.
about how much they charge.
It is, and you can sit more people at Twin River than you
Yeah.
can at the stadium too.
Are they sitting when they're there?
Well, until they start performing, and then it's standing.
Everybody stands. But I mean, it's not stadium seating. It's sort of
No, it's not.
It's not like Mohegan Sun where
No.
you can literally look down on the top of someone's head in front of you because the seats are slanted
Yeah.
almost straight up.
Nope, everyone's
It's
on
like
the floor.
climbing a ladder to be in that place. But it's I just don't see that they compete with one another necessarily because you're looking for local theaters are usually looking for local community theater groups. They also get a lot of the acts that I mean, it's like, would you expect someone like Jeff Dunham to come to stadium?
No, because he's actually coming to the Civic Center.
Civic Center,
Yeah.
or, something like
He
that.
can pull in a much larger crowd.
He can.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work in Massachusetts, but they'll, let's throw money at it and see if it works.
There you go. Must be a new governor in town.
Actually, the governor and lieutenant governor in Mass are out of town. The Secretary of State's in charge right now.
Oh.
Maura Healey's in Florida, and the lieutenant governor went to Georgia. A little family vacay for both of them. So, Bill Galvin's in charge if you want anything done.
There you go.
All right, it's time for another break here on Coffee In. So, Amanda, time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
Perfect. Thank you. So just a reminder, everyone, we have tons of checking accounts and savings accounts available for anybody's options or needs right now. I am going to highlight our Journey Rewards checking account. You earn interest in ATM fee refunds, 2.50 annual percentage yield on balances up to $20,000, plus refunds on ATMs used nationwide. You just have to do 3 simple qualifications: enroll to receive your e-statements, make 1 direct deposit, and use your debit card 12 times a month in order to qualify. If you have any questions or want some more answers, go to www.navigantcu.org or call us at 401-233-4700.
All right, Amanda, thanks. More of the Coffee In program is coming your way. Please stay tuned. Comments and questions, 766-1240.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Are you tired of stepping into a freezing cold car in the winter? Inferno Audio in Woonsocket has the solution. Their remote car starters allow you to start your car from the comfort of your home. Never feel the chill again with Inferno Audio. Stop by Inferno Audio today and upgrade your vehicle with a remote car starter. Inferno Audio on the corner of Worrell and Clinton Street, where technology meets warmth. Visit infernoaudio.com.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith, Amanda LaRose, and John Ward. And this seems like a good idea. Is this something, I'm speaking to the ladies at the moment. Would you have done this when your kids were smaller? Okay. A New Jersey movie theater's motto is BYOB. It's Bring Your Own Baby. In Montclair, New Jersey, is promoting its matinee for parents, babies, toddlers, and young kids. NJ.com says it's a way for parents to enjoy some precious time rather than trying to secure a babysitter. Children under 5 are admitted for free at the baby-friendly matinee that starts at 10 a.m.
Yeah, absolutely.
The nonprofit that runs the movie theater brought back the idea after revamping the theater in 2021. Does not say what movie they show, but I guess maybe it just doesn't matter.
I'm going to say Lincoln Mall. I don't think it's even called Lincoln Mall anymore. Anybody know what it's called?
Is it Lincoln Mall?
Lincoln Mall?
Lincoln
CW, not Lane, CW Cinema.
Yeah.
They offer in the summer. This has been going on for years. They've offered free movies for families. Like, kids are free. I think you're just paying the adult pass. They welcome babies. And in the summer, honestly, I took advantage of it a little bit, I believe, a few years back. 10 plus years back. But it's like in the summer, air conditioning, a place to bring kids, even if they cry, scream, run up and down the aisles.
How
it's
loud
like,
is it inside the theater?
it
Doesn't matter?
I don't remember it ever being out of control like Romper Room. No different than
Okay.
kids having a birthday party there. That was
Okay.
a popular thing when my kids were in kindergarten. Everybody had to have a birthday party at the movies. That was awful. With like toddlers or like that 4 to 8, like maybe 8 years old, that window was a little bit more challenging. Throwing candy,
I
whatever.
don't think
but
they're showing necessarily age
First
movie
run movie?
for like adults.
Well,
They
right.
may
It's a
show like
cartoon.
a
It's-
kid
Cartoon.
movie
It's a kid's
where I don't think the parents are going to be sitting there entranced with the movie. They're more like let
Mm-hmm.
these kids get out and be able
Yeah.
to socialize, right?
Yep.
Or be able to go somewhere and not worry that my kid's running up and down the aisle because 7 other kids are running up and down the aisle at the same time. Mm-hmm. So
Any options for moms to not feel isolated and have a place to go to and meet other moms and share misery or share a moment or, can you hold my baby while I run to the bathroom? Like, I think it's a welcomed opportunity. And
Okay,
there should
great.
be more opportunities like that.
Seems like a good business model for some.
I think
something to do.
oftentimes you'll see companies that will
Yeah.
offer something for free, just to get the bodies in and familiar with the location,
Yeah.
and of course to sell them food at a higher price than you would normally pay, or drinks,
Yeah.
and it exposes the people to the theater and the experience, and so it's a marketing tool.
There's a
Doesn't
lot
matter.
of if you're a mom, I don't remember if you did this with your kids or not, but a lot of the local libraries have story hour for free, right? That's kind of like your entry
right.
into let me get
Gets you
this kid
there.
out. Am I getting there safely? Am I like you kind of just practicing bringing your kid out in public?
Yeah.
But they used to always have flyers. I remember receiving flyers all the time. Coffee shops would have different gatherings like meet and greets for moms. The movies would throw flyers into that story time group. There's always that publication. I think there's a lot
Even
happening out there.
the stadium does it. They well, they do the Stooges, but they used to do these in every once in a while. They'd throw in a free movie.
Free movie.
Come on in, and they'll sell you popcorn and some water and some things that are going to get them revenue, because they're a nonprofit and they're looking for some revenue streams.
But is it
And
geared towards kids?
But in this case, it's directed towards kids. Yes.
Okay.
It's all positive
No,
marketing
I'm
for them
saying,
too.
You know, the stadium does it to generate the revenue. The theater does it to generate the revenue and exposure too. Except they target a particular population, which, to their credit, probably works well.
All right. I find this kind of amusing. Things could always be worse. We could be in New Orleans, and you would have to deal with this mayor, John, down in New Orleans.
Down in New Orleans,
The mayor
they,
of-
have, they have one of the highest growths in their crime rate in the country.
Really? All right. The mayor of New Orleans is going viral. She was making obscene gestures at a passing carnival float during Mardi Gras.
Bravo.
Democrat Latoya Cantrell can be seen on the video giving the middle finger to a passing float and yelling obscenities in front of the children. Now, it's not known what prompted the incident. Her office had to release a statement saying it was, quote, satire and jest. Right. Meanwhile, organizers of the campaign to recall Cantrell believe they have enough signatures to trigger an election. So things could always be worse.
Well, she's had problems down there, and I don't know whether there's
What,
people
Cantrell?
looking for, looking for recall or.
Well,
I know
yes.
she's
they wanna
not
recall
well.
him.
She has become not well liked.
Is
as
it
a
just
mayor.
because of the crime rate?
Crime rate. There's a variety of issues she has. I've read a few stories. I don't remember the specifics of
All
the
right.
issues, but this certainly is just one more thing. I'm sure that does not endear her to a whole population of people. But we both said right, you got to be old enough to remember it. But you remember Noah from Bill
Yeah, from
Cosby's
Bill
old
Cosby.
days, and they put,
These
you
two
know, I
don't
want you
remember
to I want you
this.
to build something, and it's going to be 200 cubits by 30 cubits by 50 cubits, and
Right.
and Noah's response is, right. What's a cubit?
So to the women here, ever been to Mardi Gras? Ever been to New Orleans at Mardi Gras time?
No.
no. Our theme for this year's annual meeting, though, is Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
Is it?
Yes, we just announced it. Kathy just announced it yesterday. So we are.
You do a little
all
recon
excited.
mission. You gotta like go down and.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm
Expe-
good. I'm good.
It's not on my bucket list. It's not.
No.
I don't know why. My parents love it. They've gone a
Yeah?
couple times. Yeah, it's not my thing.
I've never been. I did. They were having a national government finance officers conference down there, and then it got canceled for COVID.
Oh, that's too
I
bad.
was signed up. I was ready to go, and nope.
I think I would want to go for the food, but not for the
Yeah. The
actual Mardi
revelry.
Gras. Unless I had like one of those apartments overlooking everything where I could stay safe and confined and to myself and not
Yeah.
be with the masses.
Yeah. I have a similar reaction with Vegas. I don't like. There's something about
I
like
love
crowds of
Vegas.
people with out of control drinking, and I don't know. Like I just
That's
it's,
where you sit on
I'm getting
a bench
old,
and
I
you
think,
watch them.
And you just watch the people.
You just watch.
I don't think Vegas is quite the same though.
There's some
having,
areas
Having
that-
been, I think there's certain small areas of the old towns that you might have that, but That place is so spread out.
There was some strips at night that I just remember feeling like.
But if you get into the Old Town area, I think you might run into that problem. Or off the main road, you might run into that problem. But who goes off the main road in Vegas? It's
I
not
just
a
think in
tourist.
my old age, it's about a quiet beach. Just
Yes.
silence and the warmth of the
Yes.
sunshine.
Yes.
That's what I usually would pick at this point.
Well, I have a cousin that lives in a suburb of New Orleans, and she has told us at Mardi Gras time there are no locals on
Yeah, they
Bourbon
all
Street.
leave.
They go they know the craziness that is coming, and it's all tourists, and the locals stay away
Yeah.
until after Mardi Gras, and they all go away.
And as bad as that is, can you imagine what it's like in Rio de Janeiro?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah,
People die down there. It's great. It's beyond crazy.
yeah. We'll stay away. So.
It doesn't really interest me that much, for sure.
What I've heard about Vegas, though, and like you said, about the craziness and the drinking is and since marijuana has become legal, the
that
wafting of marijuana in Las Vegas on the streets
Yeah,
is
that may change
potent.
things. I
You don't have
noticed-
to go to Vegas to have that. It's around you. You
No,
go to the Stop and
I-
Shop here, and it's
several
the
years
parking
ago. I
lot
went
is-
to a conference in Denver, and just walking through downtown was
Like that
an
as well?
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
All right. Let's see. Other things going on. Archaeologists in China have turned up the remains of what might be the world's oldest known flush toilet. 2,400 years old. Who knew they had running water back then? Chinese state media, and you can always believe them, John, right? Chinese state media, okay. Reported last week that a research team found broken parts of a 2,400-year-old toilet along with a bent flush pipe last summer. The ancient sanitation device was discovered among palace ruins at an archaeological site in central China. And according to the state-owned China Daily, the researchers believe the toilet was located inside the palace with a pipe leading to an outside pit. Servants likely would have poured water into the toilet bowl every time it was used. Tough to be the servants.
It's great.
Isn't that great?
That's fabulous.
I don't know how this affects your daily life, but
I'm always just amused how you or where
Find
you
these?
find these.
That's what I
There's
was
a
gonna
million
say.
headlines out there, right? We could probably all contribute
I don't
4
know
or
about
5,
a
and
million.
you find a well, maybe not a million,
I
but you
I
find
the
a
crazy
toilet
ones.
story.
Yeah,
from-
so there you go.
I did read a story about them finding a fossil of a transitional primate up in northern Canada above the
that's
Arctic
that's the
Circle.
story I thought you were
Really?
going to say when you started out.
No, I don't have that one.
I've read the same
read the
article.
same one, huh?
Yeah,
A
fascinating.
transitional primate?
Primate, yeah, one of the first primates, about 50 million years old.
Wow.
But
Now
it's up
that's
north.
a
It's up
headline.
north of the. It's up north of the Arctic Circle, and the fascinating thing is about what they appeared to think was different dietary habits for that, because you have to consider that they were living in a place that went dark for 6 months, and the what was there for them to eat was far different than some other primate living down in the equatorial regions. So
Okay.
that's interesting junk I read from time to time, and apparently she does.
I don't
She
know.
does
We
do
must have hit the
interesting,
same,
interesting
the same
junk.
breath.
All right, here's the good news. I'm not telling you to go there and have it, but now that we're past Valentine's Day, we're moving towards St. Patrick's Day now.
It's time to
and-
buy roses.
No.
Oh.
Well, you could, I
They're
guess.
cheaper.
But as we move towards St. Patrick's Day, McDonald's has bring back the Shamrock Shake.
Oh, good lord!
No, none of you like it? I don't like it either.
Nope.
It's back for a limited time. The minty refreshment was released to the public yesterday. It's available nationwide while supplies last. And they're also offering the Oreo Shamrock McFlurry. McFlurries
All
are
right,
delicious.
that might be something I would try.
Yeah?
No.
No,
Too minty?
Oh, I
Either you
love
like
mint.
mint
I like
ice
mint.
cream or
Yeah,
you don't.
I don't like.
I don't
minty
like ice
foods.
cream.
So the McFlurry could have like Oreo cookies mixed in, right?
Yes,
Now
that's what makes
that's
it
like
delicious.
a grasshopper
Yes.
Sunday type flavor. That might
That's
entice
right.
me. And I don't go to McDonald's,
like
so
ice
I
cream?
might.
I
that
do
might-
not like ice cream. I do not eat ice cream. I do not we don't buy it in my house.
Wow.
If my family wants it, they are on their own to go buy it. I will not.
Is it one of those like you
Yikes.
like ice cream, but ice cream doesn't like you?
Nope, it's a
No.
texture thing.
It's a
I've
texture
tried
thing.
different brand. I'm very good at trying ice cream. I will try it. I have never found a brand that I like. I've never found a flavor that I like.
Wow.
Even like the peanut butter cup
Nope.
sundae from Friendly's.
Nope.
Like melted peanut butter chocolate, like nothing.
Nope. Nothing.
Wow.
We go
So
once
is
a year.
it lighter the better, or creamier the better, or just both are disgusting?
Both. I just don't like it. I don't even like gelato. But once a year, we go to my friend's ice cream shop. He owns an ice cream shop, so we go once a year, and I will get the tiniest scoop of ice cream, and I tell him to put hot fudge and whipped cream and everything on top of it. I mix it all up, and then I eat
Yes.
it because
That's okay.
that's the only
That's
way I
okay.
can handle one scoop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, one of the funniest joys of having kids is watching them when they had their first taste of ice cream. Mm-hmm. And it was great because they're like, "Where has this been?"
Right.
So this is
And my
awesome.
daughter loves ice cream.
Yeah.
My husband does too. But
They're on their
I've never
own.
they're
met
on
anyone
their
that
own.
doesn't
My
like
husband
ice
will go
cream.
and buy his own ice cream to bring into the house.
Well, obviously, if you're not,
because
you're not going to buy
I
it.
won't buy it.
Wow.
And that includes all ice cream novelties too?
Yeah.
Is it just a
I don't
freezer
like-
cold
In six-
sensation issue?
In 68 years, you are the first person I have ever
Me
met.
too. That's why I'm
Ever.
fascinated.
Usually
like
that's
ice
what
cream.
people say. They're like, you don't like ice cream? I'm like, I do not.
Everybody likes ice cream.
I don't like ice cream, and I don't like apple pie.
Wow, she's a communist.
Wow.
You like
What do you
Chevrolet?
like?
You okay with that?
Is there something that
brownies
you
with
brownies?
peanut butter.
Okay.
Hot dogs okay?
I love hot dogs.
Oh well, all right. That's good.
Blueberry
Wow.
pie?
Nope.
Peach.
just don't like
peach
pie?
No,
Pecan
I don't
pie.
like. I don't like,
Like pie.
Banana cream pie?
No.
Wow. Chocolate cream pie?
No. Brownies.
Yes,
Cake.
brownies, cakes.
No, brownie. Outside edge or middle?
Either. But gooey.
Gooey.
You mean the crunchy side?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Oh
gotta be,
yeah. You have
It's got to be able
either-
to stick to the wall.
Yeah.
Kind
If
of thing.
we've never
All
talked
right.
about, not that this
Wow,
is
how about
important,
that?
but there is a copper brownie pan. Have I talked about this on the air before? That has all the little dividers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes each brownie perfect.
Perfectly
Just
sized.
making sure that you know about that. If you're a brownie lover
already.
because it's amazing. It's a game changer.
All right, we got to run. We've run out of time here in the Coffee and program. Thank you for listening in. As always, Amanda, no ice cream for you, okay?
No ice cream for me. Everybody have a great day.
All right, thanks
This
for
is
coming
like
in.
this is like finding a new book of the
I
Bible
know, isn't it amazing?
dug out of the ground somewhere.
Melissa, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. See you next week.
All right, and John Ward, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, my pleasure as always. And we'll look at Melissa while I say, everybody go out there and enjoy the God-given day.
All right.
I'll mouth the words.
This is Joe Callen. Have a great day. Stay tuned. Community Care Alliance is next on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue